when I started this class in 2021, that was during the COVID. And I realized that there were many students, they just came back from a long isolated period, studying from home and not interacting with their peers. And also, as I was living and still living in a community with older immigrants from Asia, from other continents, I realized they are very isolated. Because of COVID, they dare not to go outside. Because also during that time, there were anti-Asian, especially towards senior Asian adults, discrimination. So I was thinking, how can I create a bridge to make students go to the community to understand the older adults, and also help the older adults to make their voices heard. And that's why I initially started this Aging and Design course series. I want to conquer the barriers of language, of culture, of age differences.
And the big thing is the co-design and the co-participatory type of pedagogy, where the students are really working with the older adults. And so that is something that is not often available to students in their courses. And so it really allows them to not only learn about older adults and learn about their perspective, but it also requires them to reflect on their own thinking about aging and their own biases about aging. And so I think it's really a great class in that it just opens their minds. So that biggest takeaway I appreciate when the students say, you know what, it's made me really rethink aging, and also to identify that I had some biases towards aging that I didn't necessarily realize I had, and those biases are not accurate. And so if they come away from this course with those new revelations about themselves and about aging, that makes me very happy.
So this is a totally new class I created from the scratch. In the beginning, I was experimenting different modules and teaching students in different ways. But now we've been running this class, we've already finished 3 times of the iteration of this class. Many students came back to me appreciating the course materials, changed their values, changed their perspective towards older people and immigrants.
Awesome. I was very nervous. I was concerned that I would not be equipped to participate in the class quite as well as I did. I was also very nervous that the language barrier would be a problem once I knew that we were working with older adults, older Asian adults. It's kind of eye-opening how much you can learn when you work outside of your comfort zone. I think that this class was definitely what I needed to understand that there's so much more to education and creation that's not just buildings. I love that they were so open to kind of teaching and communicating and working with the translator in a way that I first felt a little uncomfortable, not from them, but that I was doing something that was inappropriate or not communicating effectively or kind of maybe making them uncomfortable. But by the time we came back around for the second and now this third meeting that we're gonna have at the end of December, I feel really, really good about talking with them and engaging with them. And a lot of them are just they're like just people. And I think that kind of stress went away because you know that there's a difference between us and them because they're older or a different culture, and they're awesome. I like it. I think that's something that I was very nervous about. That was something I shouldn't have been nervous about at all.
And a lot of older adults gave me feedback that they really want to continue working on these projects with me, and they benefited from interacting with students. They really love the relationship building, and they were inspired by our design methods and creative endeavors.
我觉得跟学生在一起互动很好，心情开阔，反正很好的。就觉得开心吧，反正是很开心。这些学生想的很周到、细致。我最喜欢就是能看着那年轻人就是这个思想思维啊，思维就是就是还是我说的很敏捷，然后我就感觉到自己能增加点活力了。
The most rewarding part of this class, I would say, is the smiles from the students and older adults when I saw them interacting with each other during the workshop at the community center, and I saw students who were so passionate and happy to talk to older adults, so patient to ask them questions, use the translators to help them understand. And older adults were really enthusiastic talking to students, sharing their life stories. Some of them were so touched during the conversation, they even shed tears and cried and were very emotional. But those were happy tears. And I was really touched about the interaction, and also the result came out of the collaboration were great, and some of the outcome students' homework assignments were applied into the community.
Going into this class, I felt pretty good about it. I took a previous version of this class last year. This year they added in the entrepreneurship aspect to it. So I felt pretty comfortable because I kind of had a general idea of what we would be doing and how the class would go. But I was excited to have that additional aspect. We also added in the 3D or the virtual lab that we did, which I thought was a good experience just because we got a better understanding of like the point of view from an older adult. Yeah, I think mainly I just came into the class excited to do the project again. We had two really great partners this time around who were very vocal and very helpful as far as determining things that we need to change about our prototype, as well as ideas and things to work on that would help them.
As to the Empathic Co-Design Lab, one of our major goals is to partner with more universities, education institutions, or community leaders to apply our framework and our community-based toolkits to help them elevate their underrepresented communities in their neighborhood. Another goal is to collaborate with other communities, not only the Asian immigrant adults, older adults, but also people with disabilities, people from other communities, to elevate their life quality using our tools and methods. And I would also like to collaborate with international institutions, nonprofit organizations to work together to help elevate their community members and the users they are serving.